Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios, family and cosmetic dentistry, offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or visit our website at www.sdshouston.com.
Looking to advertise? Join The Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hey, yo, what's good, my peeps, and welcome to Startup Masters. That's right, the place where you can get the best content. We got the best guests, the dopest guests, the illest guests who skin up their need to the white meat so you don't have to. So if you are considering starting a business or you have a business and perhaps you want to refresh your differentiators, you landed at the right station, the right network, and for sure, the right episode right here on Startup Masters. I'm your host, Kalia Guillory, also known as KG. You can catch me on across all social media platforms at KOGpassion.com. And I am just fired up for another great episode. What about you, G?
You know what it is each and every time we get together on this mic. What's up, people? Welcome back to Startup Masters. I'm your co-host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity, chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And this is what we do here. Like KG always says, we're trying to keep it from skinning that knee up to the white meat. We're trying to give you that insight and information you need as a business owner to take your business to the next level. Learn from us. We've been through the trials, the tribulations, the storms, and guess what? The journey has all been worth it. That's what we do each and every week right here at this table on Startup Masters. I know you're ready to get this on. Put me in, coach. That's what it is. So we've got a great person today. This young man has dedicated an ample amount of time to doing things around this studio, along with the Intermission podcast staff. He has, ever since I've met him, he has been a person of vigor, a person of tenacity, someone that when they say something that we know we can depend on whatever he's going to bring to the table. And of course, he's doing that from a media perspective as well, from a marketing perspective. This is none other than the marketing maven himself, Mr. Howard Edwards.
Hey.
What's up, bro? Nothing much, man. Hey, this is what we do, man.
Now know that I got to do some things on my own podcast or introduction because we coming way too cheap.
Hey, we heavy
we
around
flip
here.
that switch and it's over.
In its own and popping.
Man, I was thinking I needed some coffee, but I'm pumped now.
No,
Like
this
that.
is what we
Yeah,
here, man. We appreciate your time and excellence, brother. And we're here to get people the information they need to understand about your journey as an entrepreneur. Like we'd like to tell them, you know, get your digital pads and pens ready for those that are sitting at home watching this on Apple TV. For those that are sitting in traffic right now, you're listening to this via SoundCloud. We want to make sure that you are tuned in and you are scientifically pushed in the right direction to put all these pens and plots together. That way you can build that business bridge to that financial future that you're looking for. You ready to take this journey with the people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do this then. Damn. So, yeah, it's real.
Quality salesman right here, man.
It is real.
Nasty, vigor.
This is what
Damn.
we do.
These are some adjectives I need to
Come on.
incorporate onto my site.
Come
man.
on, man. This is what we do. So let's hop
Absolutely.
into this DeLorean.
Cool.
Let's hit 88 miles an hour. let's go back in time and let's tell the people, for those that are listening right now in iHeartRadio, let's tell the people, where were you at in life when you said, you know what, I want to bring this media company to fruition and start to be able to advocate for my clientele? What was going on in your life?
So I've been in this industry for about 6-7 years, and one day I actually ended up going over to a competitor that from my old company, and we got bought out. And so while this was going on, there was all this like uncertainty and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to solidify my place in this company, because it already come down the ladder that they're going to cut 1/3 of the company. They got new products they want us to learn, this, that, and the other. While that shift was going on, I started noticing something shifting to the crack, where some of the things that we sold to our clients, they weren't operating properly. So I just started doing some digging and realized that we weren't selling quality anymore. And
Talk about that.
so in my industry, it's always been who sucks less. It's not necessarily are you doing what's right for the clients. Hey, let's get them in there because we're a very flooded market. Let's just try and churn and burn as quickly as we can, get the number moving, and then move on.
Just widgets, no relationships.
Exactly. And so my style has always been, I'm going in as a consultant for these clients. So obviously I'm a digital marketing agent and all that's kind of good stuff. And I'm dealing with small and medium-sized business owners who they've got their life savings involved in this stuff. They're either on their third quarter of the fourth quarter game and they're like losing right now. And they're trying to figure out how to turn this ship around. And I go in there and tell them, give me $2,500 a month for a 12-month contract. And they're like, man, that's a lot of money. That can make or break my year.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, hey, it's going to work, this, that, and the other. We got guaranteed this and blah, 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 blah. This is where you people. Yeah, guarantees.
Whoa.
That was the killer parts, guarantees.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, right?
Immediate.
Yeah. So
On the play, okay?
Duh.
I know, right? That's where we headed.
So one day I got an email. I was actually going and doing a follow-up with one of my clients, and the email hadn't been doctored yet coming to me. So they would doctor the information given us to the agents before they go out to our clients. So I noticed that there was two numbers. One was a really, really low number, and one was a really, really high number. And I went and asked about this, and they said, hey, this is what we get it at. This is what we sell it at. And it's like you're getting the price for $1, and you're turning around selling it for $30. That's kind of messed up, especially knowing that these clients are trying to grow their business. We're essentially taxing them twice.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. The second part of it was that after we got bought out, I had my job because I was one of the top reps there. They actually revealed to us what the new product was and the new direction of the company. And it was the same kind of thing. This time, though, we're getting away from all the marketing, all the stuff that actually helps the business grow. They're building a UI that basically integrates with the foundation. So UI is user interface and just gets into the customer's foundation, but doesn't do anything. So they were paying reps to go in, sell this product that doesn't do anything. And now the client's stuck in there because all their business information is stuck in here. It's really hard. It's really easy to put it in, really hard to take it out. So
Wow.
I asked the CEO of the company, because they sent us to a training for a week for that, and I asked him just point blank, I was like, so what's the move with this? Because this doesn't do anything from what I see. And they said, well, we're going to work on that down the line and yada, yada, yada. And so that just let me know that's not the plan whatsoever. So I decided that, I had enough of that, because I'm telling people I'm here to help them. And I know this stuff better than most people do. But they're giving me this money and they're not being helped. So
You can't look yourself in the mirror at this point.
absolutely not. Plus, I also saw how much money was there to be made.
Yeah.
Because they have a 3,000% markup.
Right.
I can reduce that, produce more business for them. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, and
So-
here's the first thing. One of my takeaways that I immediately heard when you're explaining this scenario: ethical issue.
Listen.
Right.
100%.
So when your ethics are in place as
Listen.
a business owner, if
Listen.
you're sitting somewhere and you're thinking about, how do I structure my business? How do I put this business forward? First and foremost, folks, be ethical about what you do. Your practices, your clientele, keep them first. You don't worry about your pocketbooks. It's just money to be made. But ethics are so important in business, man.
A business model that the foundation is integrity.
Come on.
you gotta win with that. I mean,
Every time.
every single time. And speaking of winning in marketing, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this portion of the show is sponsored by our friends over at True Digital. You're online right now, and so are your customers. The question is, how do you actively reach them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. True Digital Media Consulting can help with website development, online ads, your business reputation, and organic growth on search engines. Give us a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at 832-934-4436, or send us an email to info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. If you mention the Spheres, folks, I'm telling you, you'll receive a free 30-minute strategy consultation. Go and do that now.
Get that on. Make
I'm-
it happen.
So speaking of, we already covered a lot just in that first
Come
segment,
on.
right? But talk about when that moment you decided that I'm going to pivot away. I'm gonna go out on my own. I'm gonna start up my own shop, and I'm gonna have some integrity. I'm gonna have ethics in my business model. What were some of those adversities you had to overcome along
that's
the
an easy
way?
All right, so
Give us
you
the biggest
you gotta
one.
know
Give us the biggest
backstory.
one.
I just had a son in March. Okay, so I've got a 1-year-old.
Oh,
And I'm staring down this barrel of the gun like, I can't do this anymore. And I know the other thing with this was that they were routinely axing people from the bottom. So bad product, money cut, poor ethics, and then they're trying to make it even more competitive than what it already is. And it's 4,000 people in this company, so it's already super competitive. Trying to figure out what's the best route. And then all of a sudden, my Facebook and Instagram, and I'm totally one of those people who believe that the energy of the universe is going to push you a specific way.
I sure will.
I saw this video with Will Smith. Saw this video with Samuel Jackson. And, no, not Samuel Jackson. Steve Harvey. And they both were talking about, if you keep thinking about something over and over and over again, you're just not going to do it. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. While that's going on, a friend of mine who used to work for the company had started his own company. Totally less stress, making way more money, enjoying what he's doing. His clients love him. He's doing all this creative stuff, all the stuff that he wants to do, steering his direction. I'm just sitting there like, man, I don't even like getting up in the mornings. I hate this. So October rolled around. And I just said, man, forget it. It's done. So
You tried the deuce.
Chunk Deuce I had just enough money for the next 2 months of rent, food, and all that. I had a few clients that were ready to go with me, but I couldn't touch them because of
No compete.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I had 1 or 2 people who were saying, hey, we'll pull the trigger with you, who had no ties to my old company. I just said, man, there's no job certainty with this anyways. I may as well, this is the right moment
Why
for this
not?
because
Why
I
not?
can get fired next week.
Why not?
So I did that, and here we are. I'm almost a year into it. I just did my profits and loss last night for my accountant.
P&L.
Boom.
Turning a profit.
Come
Just
on.
Booked a new, closed on a house. So
You're
it's
living
been
great.
good. It's good, man. It's definitely stressful. I mean, 16-hour days, easily up at 5:30 every day. Hopefully in bed by 11. But
But you're doing what you love.
Absolutely.
Which makes
Absolutely.
a difference.
And it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You'll put in a 16-hour workday for you,
Yeah.
but not for
Come
some
on.
shady shyster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is that once I started leading with, hey, this is how this is going to work, and like just be upfront with them, like, yeah, I'm charging you premium because you're going to get good service for sure, but you're going to know where your money's going. Like, you're going to know all the fees up front. You know why you're paying this, and everything's backed by numbers. All my clients have been referring me people ever since.
See, that's the key. When you can measure, when you can give me an
Metrics.
ROI and you can measure your metrics and tell me,
Come
and you're
on,
commanding the dollar that I'm giving you, that's the difference.
Come
I mean, you wouldn't.
And he wrapped it with ethics.
Did you
With
hear
an ethical
that?
push.
I mean, come
they
on.
trust him.
Yeah.
They
Done.
refer
It's always
other
about
people
trust. That's all it's
It's
about.
loyalty.
Market. Come on.
It's customer-centric approach.
Always. And that's so important. Shout out to those who trust us. Monique, we see you saying yes, ethics. Kamisha's in the building talking about very true. And of course, hello back to you, Miss Martin. Facebook Livers, we love y'all. We support y'all. And we're here for you because we're Facebook first. But guess what? We're going to cut this show right about now. So you gotta go subscribe. We're not ending here, but you gotta go over to the website, thesphere.tv/Startup Masters. We've got a couple of options. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker. We're even in your kitchen on Amazon Alexa. We're anywhere and everywhere podcasts can be found. Spotify coming soon. Of course, while you're there, hit that like button, hit those stars, give us that feedback. We need the constructive criticism so we can continue to build great shows and content that's just for you. And of course, share it out with your family, your friends, share with your colleagues, share with your loved ones, share with your haters, share with anyone and everyone so they know that where they can get great entrepreneurial advice and information to help build their business. And last but not least, if you truly love what we're doing, sow a seed, folks. Go over to sphere.tv/donate. We got a couple of options. You can donate one time right on the website, or if you want exclusive content that's just for you and some additional perks and goodies, go over to good old Patreon. Click that Patreon button and become a subscription-based donator. You're going to get some stuff that's just going directly to you all. So, once again, the show's not ending, but remember, you've got to subscribe right here at The Sphere. So, Howard, let's keep this party rolling
Cool.
and this thing moving forward. Let's talk about today. The business today, as a client walking into your operation, what can they expect from you? Products, services, what do you have going on under the hood?
So, and I guess I can take this back to the whole thing. The biggest thing that separates what I do and what ties into what they get from me is that there's analytics tied to everything. I mean, you know this. We talk about this all the time.
Sure.
I look for what your audience wants, period. And it's not me going out asking what they want. It's not anything like that. It's seeing what they're doing online, period. So anything with the website you can track, you can see where they're going, you can watch the workflow, you can see what happens from the homepage to the time they leave your site. You can see where they came from, all that stuff. Most people don't look at that, and it's a wealth of knowledge. So I start with that. If a company is already established, they have a business model already, they already have websites and stuff, I go through and look at that and see what it is that they need from what I see first without asking them anything, and then asking what their business goals are and trying to align those two. Most people don't realize that there's a different type of marketing and there's a different type of message that has to be sent to an audience member based off what you're trying to do. So, for instance, if you're a company that's branding and you're coming out with something that's new to market, you're in an emerging market, you can't just go out thinking that you're just going to get a bunch of leads on this, like because no one's looking for it, they don't know it. So, what's your goal is to start building up hype around it and that sort of thing. So, I help you craft a message for that, get content together, put you in front of the right people who can manage social media. We manage social media depending on what you want done, and go from there. If it's something else like, hey, you know, we're a business that's been around, we sell tires or something that's well known, try to see what your pitfalls are, see why you aren't clicking the business that you think you should, whether it's something business model wise or whatever.
I hear forensics.
Listen,
You know, this digital media forensics that's really taking
That's a
that
good way to
business
look
to the next level. And obviously, we want someone in our corner, you know, that's sitting right next to us, that's willing to say, you know what, I've done a due diligence.
Right.
I see where your traffic could be going. I see what people are really interested in when it comes to your area of expertise. Let's go get them together.
and we'll also help you craft
Come on.
See,
the
that's
message.
Come
Because
on.
that's the
important
key.
part,
That's the key. Is we can have this incredible idea, but if we don't, crafting messages isn't in our
Come on,
wheelhouse.
curation. The curation's got to be right.
Hey,
Come on. Bring that
Listen.
thing to life.
totally.
Now, you mentioned something in which was the X factor. That's what you talked about. I heard you say it. You threw it out there.
So like
what
I
was
said,
that thing that's... No, you're fine.
I've been watching shows, seeing what you guys
hey,
ask
hey,
people. I had to
come
be prepared,
prepared.
man.
This is what we do.
Had to
Come
be.
prepared.
So
But
this is my
let's-
first interview on anything before, so I'm like,
There it
absolutely.
is.
Your
This-
differentiators are already selling this bad boy.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
exactly. The
It
proof
should.
in the pudding.
That's
We
the point.
old
It
school.
should. If it doesn't, it's not good enough.
That's
You gotta do
right.
smarter.
So let's talk about, I mean, obviously that's a lot on the front side, but let's dive a bit deeper into you as a
Okay.
person. What are you doing when it's not that 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m.? What are you doing to sew back into self so that you can provide all this great craftsmanship and curation of digital content for your clientele? What are you doing to recharge your battery?
Well, having a son and all that, first thing is hanging out with the family. So I try to, it's hard trying to be a new father and have a startup at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make sure that I allocate enough time for both because, I mean, both are equally important in my eyes. So outside of that, I mean, doing the typical going to parks, hanging out with them and all that stuff and chilling with everyone else involved, I try to make sure that I have time for myself as well, whether it's working out. Sometimes I go to the movies by myself just because I need that kind of time. Because this is running a business, I don't think people grasp that how stressful that really is. I've gotten so many more gray hairs.
Come on, man.
Like
my chin looking like the snowman.
I
Yeah.
had to get color now.
It's real.
Because my beautician was like, KG. I thought she found like a patch of hair. She was like, you got like a whole section up here that's all gray.
It's real.
Yeah, my girlfriend came by the other day, and I'm in the kitchen cooking, and I just feel this pluck, and I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "You got another gray hair," and I was just like, "Why are you pulling these things? I'm not trying to get more."
You know the
I'm
world.
not even 30 yet. Like,
Ain't that
what's up?
something?
The world ain't the same when you get one on your eyelash.
Oh,
Eyelash.
you had one on your eyelash?
it's
Last
real.
week.
Oh man, you
That's
might need to
when
start
you know it's
meditating.
real.
That's when you know.
Yeah, you might need to take up meditation. Or something.
I do.
Know that thing is real.
Yeah.
But I think that's important, man. And I can see the smile on your face. You brightened up when you start
Yeah.
talking about your son and
Yeah.
just this idea of spending time with family. And I'm assuming you've seen that same level of support poured back into the business.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, when we've got a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old. My girlfriend, anytime we're like at a basketball game or whatever, and she's talking to like another parent or something like that, first thing she's like, "Oh yeah, he's got his own business. He's doing this, and this." Because I've noticed I'm coming in contact more and more with people who own their own businesses and all that. So
The universe is attracting you to what you are.
Oh, for sure. The best advice I got, so I immediately hopped on and got some mentors. That was one of the first things I did early on. And the first thing I was told was, go where the energy takes you. So something I've learned along the way on my own is that you don't have to be 100%. Like I think people get paralyzed with being perfect at every aspect. And like, you don't have to be perfect. It's just get 70% on the way there, and then just start working, and then figuring out as you're going along. And like, I'll have clients all the time, and I tell them, like, listen, every campaign is different. You have to experiment. Like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while, but I can't tell you. Like, you can be the same industry as another client of mine, but I can't say that your audience is going to receive you the exact same way.
Right.
It just depends on what goes on. So I've taken that principle and just applied it to what I'm doing, and it's been helping because I've found myself in different situations I wouldn't have even guessed 9-10 months ago. I mean, finding myself dealing with medical societies and being introduced to hospital owners and sitting in rooms with people who all have been having Ferraris since they're in their 20s. And I'm just sitting there, I was like, these doors wouldn't have opened to me had I just sat there paralyzed trying to figure out how am I going to get this done instead of just moving
Just
and
go.
then just going. Yeah.
Following the energy.
That's what they say. You got to take your shots. And even if the shot, you miss it, it doesn't go through the net. It doesn't go through
It's
the
a learning
goal.
process.
Like, it's a learning process. Like,
Mhm.
it don't work, then... I mean, the greatest metaphor I've heard is like an entrepreneur needs to jump off the cliff and you build the airplane on the way down.
Yeah.
And
It's
then when
similar to
you
what,
get it-
Steve Harvey was saying, actually.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I got that from a podcast I listened to, Masters of Scale, and that's what they were interviewing the dude Reed. He's the founder of LinkedIn. That's what he was talking about with LinkedIn. It's like he just had this idea of this community for professionals, but he literally jumped and then built his airplane on the way down.
Minimum viable product.
MVP,
Come
baby.
on, we just
Yeah.
had the
MVP,
conversation
baby.
with cruising.
You just gotta have
Cruising.
that minimal piece while you cruise through the air
Just do
as
it.
you get down to the
Yeah,
ground.
Get that minimum out there.
But you know what happens though when
Talk
you
about
have that MVP,
Mhm.
you still can smile.
You got to.
I think it teaches you something different, though. And that's like the one thing I've noticed about people who own their own business is that they have kind of like a delusion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I don't know it, but I can do it. And you're like, well, he's like, yeah, I can do it. Because you start becoming more self-reliant. And one of the things that I don't think people realize is that in a 9-to-5, you don't have that security like you think you do. Especially in Texas, I can fire anybody I want just because you showed up late.
At will
Yeah.
state.
At will.
Exactly. And then when you realize that there's no such thing as like financial stability, then you realize that the more you create your own opportunities, the better it is for you, because now you're not collecting a check, you're growing wealth, and you're actually building your income. So I tell people I'm going to be unemployed for the rest of my life because
Totally.
I don't have a job.
Right.
I have something that I'm creating and building, but that's not the only, I'm not pigeonholed to that. I can go do anything else that I want to outside of that. If I don't feel like working today because I can feel that I'm hitting a wall, I'll just go
You
do
take the
something
day
else.
off.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to that.
Just smile on
Because
that.
that's wealthy, not WEALTHY, WELLTHY.
I like
Like
that.
you're well whenever you
Yeah.
can really say, you know what? I'm not feeling it today.
Mhm.
But you know what I am feeling? A pretty smile.
Talk about
and
it.
some white teeth.
Huh.
And guess what? This portion of the show is sponsored by our friends over at Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. If you're not sure what you need, don't worry. Dr. Ellis and her team are happy to meet with you to go over your patient history and goals and offer you professional recommendations. Let Smile Design Studios make you smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or check out our website at www.sdasindesignhouston.com to schedule your appointment today. All new patients receive a free gift and 50 off your first dental treatment. Call them now, folks. Smile Design Studios looks forward to providing excellent care for you and your family.
There it is. There
Might
it
have to give
is.
them a call.
Hmm?
I might have to give them a call. I got this really, really vain. So I know we already talked about I have a 5-year plan.
Mhm.
I've got this really, really vain thing that's tied to all this.
What's that?
I want that Kim Kardashian like all white smile.
Well, yeah, hey,
I want that.
hey, why not?
I don't care. I
Get it.
want that. It looks
You
gr-
do what
looks
you need
great.
to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's
Let's-
dive into
Right.
it because we're
Great
heading that
segue.
direction.
Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about the future, good sir. So
Mhm.
where do you see yourself in the year 2025, 2030? Edwards Media Solutions, what's happening
So do y'all
around that
want
juncture?
the selfish part of it, or do you want?
We want it all.
Okay. So remember, I said this is delusion you have to have, right?
Of course.
So I can easily be written off as being a workaholic for sure. I was sitting around one day and I was listening to this guy talking about why he has a jet, and the thing I thought about in my head was I hate traffic so much
Man.
that I'd be willing to buy a helicopter just to save a few minutes.
Come on.
And then I worked out a plan to how I could figure out where I could afford that. And it's based off of how many meetings I'm closing a month and the value of the average value of those meetings. And all. So basically, it's just a complicated formula just to make me laugh at how ridiculous that is. So to answer your question, in 5 years, brand new house, family's all chilling, everything like that. Nice car, nothing crazy. $40,000, $50,000 cars I don't want. But I want to have 3 businesses under myself. It's all same industry. I'm actually working on a second one now. 10-year plan, working on my helicopter. That's for sure. 20 years, I want to be able to just travel wherever I want to. Still working, everything's running in place. I'm sitting on a laptop, being able to just conduct business from there. Because the beauty about what I do is that as long as I have an internet connection,
You can do it from
Go.
anywhere.
yeah, I can do whatever I want. But that's the selfish side. The real side of it, the real answer that I tell people, and the one that actually keeps me motivated, is that I want to be able to get back to the community, but not in the sense that I'm giving it charity, because I don't think that actually works. I think money needs to be infused into the community, but it also needs to be tied to someone who's done it and is leading by example. So one of the
opportunities.
things, so one of the things, so as I'm starting this new business, one of what we're doing is actually helping with, we're partnering with another consulting firm, and they have all the finance side of things, the logistics, all that kind of thing, stuff I don't know. What I want to do is start taking businesses, every 5 of these businesses that we sell, we go do one for free in an impoverished area. I actually got this idea from T.I., which I'm pretty sure he got the idea from Power. I just saw that episode this morning, and I was like, man, this is exactly what I'm trying to design. But in my neighborhood that I grew up in, all the money leaves. And I've noticed that the further you drive into an impoverished area, you just start seeing things like streets aren't taken care of, the businesses look run
It
down,
just
and
gets
all
worse
this.
and worse.
Yeah, but then you also start seeing there's only gas stations and fast food restaurants.
And liquor stores.
And liquor
And liquor
stores.
stores.
Don't forget about them.
And churches.
in churches. And the thing is that if you're trying to have a society, and at least this is my opinion, where people are learning to be financially stable and financially independent, you have to teach them young, like 16, 14, 15, all that. When I was younger, all I got to do was work in a mall. Even those opportunities are starting to leave. Greenspoint Mall is now shut
Shout out
down.
to Amazon.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos
There we
like
go.
no malls.
He's efficient.
No
He's
more.
efficient. He's efficient.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is start buying back into businesses that are there, helping them actually thrive, try and infuse these these neighborhoods with money, so that way they can start offering opportunity to other people. So it just becomes that much easier for somebody to realize that, hey, I don't have to just go to this 9 to 5, and I don't have to go work at this fast food restaurant. I can go work at somebody else's shop and learn how they're doing it from firsthand experience. So, I mean, I'm still working through the idea, but that's 10 years from now, 5 years from now is what I want to be. That's kind of like my passion project.
I love that.
15 years from now, because one of the things that I have a partner that I'm working with is for education, is that I have my own charter schools. Because, I got to college and I realized I was being babysat the whole time. Like, I'm looking at these kids that are coming from these all-white schools, private schools, and all that stuff that I should know, I didn't know. The only reason I was able to get ahead because I was taking college classes at the same time I was in high school, but just foundation work didn't have. I had to go back and work harder to understand that. I'm looking at now how the schools are designed. Public schools, they just teach you repetitiveness. They don't actually teach the foundation. So I kind of want to change that. And there's all these experimental high schools and stuff around the country where they're focusing on inner city schools, and they have like 100% graduation rates, 100% acceptance rates into colleges and all that. And I want to bring that to Houston because I think we have one here in Houston, and I think that's going to help actually turn around what's going on with our economy and all that good stuff.
Man, I'm gonna just stay close to you over the next 20 years.
Listen,
I got a lot of ideas, man. I'm
man,
just trying to
I would love to
execute them.
partner with you on
Collaboration.
some of those. Yeah, that's the way it is. There's a couple of things I want to pull from that you said. One of the most important things I heard you say, even when you were talking about the selfish side of things, is that
You got to be real about that,
but
too.
you're paying yourself for the hard work you've put in. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, and for those that are tuned in right now, you're sitting in your kitchen cooking, you're listening to this on your Amazon Alexa, think about this concept. If you constantly pour into your business and you never pay yourself back from it in some form of facet, whether it's tangible or intangible, you will eventually burn out and you will feel as though you're sowing into something that's just an alligator.
That's it.
You've got to pay yourself with some type of goal and achievement that you've made. Sow back into self, whether it's taking yourself out on a vacation or buying an expensive vehicle or anything that you feel is due diligence for the hard work you put in. The second thing I like about what you're saying is that there's always this additive give back strategy. And I think that that's often important. We've heard that time and time again at this table about the strategic way that people are deciding to give back to uplift other people.
Yeah.
And if a lot of business owners had that same mentality and it wasn't just about profits, the P&L, then I think we would see a totally new revived structure around communities where people have come up and made it, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I mean,
Well, it's more than just writing a check.
Always.
because if you think about it, though, I mean, humans naturally group together.
We do.
And when you start isolating yourself, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm a pure capitalist. I think money is important. But it's one of those things that you can still thrive and earn something by helping and giving back to somebody else and helping it be that much easier for someone else to do the same thing. Because you never know, like, business at the end of the day is all about relationships. That's all it is. Like, I mean, I haven't had to make a cold call to a new client, period, since I've been here, and it's all because I'm just trying to help other people and add value everywhere I go.
Because it's authentic and it's genuine.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge thing that people miss is that
That's
even
the
people who work
miss.
on 9 to 5 is that you just got to, like, whatever you're saying, you just have to believe it. It doesn't
Right.
matter how crazy it is, how far out there. You just believe it.
You
Like,
want that W-2?
yeah.
I gotta believe it.
Because, like, if you look at, like, people like Rick Ross and all this stuff, he says outlandish comments about what he's going to achieve in the rap game and all this. And then you start looking at, like, his track record of just success. Like, he's making lots of money outside of just rap. Like, dude has, I think, like,
Wingstops is-
15 Wingstops
15.
or something.
15
He has
of
something
them.
crazy like that. I mean, that number might be off, but he's got something
I think it's
crazy like
15.
that. Yeah.
I think a recent
Yeah, it makes
article
sense.
I read, it
And
makes sense.
He believes in, he has a song, Buy Back the Block. Like,
Yeah.
he believes in sowing dollars back into your community. You mentioned T.I. earlier. He has initiatives like that. Obviously, Sean Carter and
Will I
Beyonce.
Am.
I mean, people are really
Akon is the
understanding.
biggest
Akon.
one.
Oh, my
Yo,
God.
and
Akon
people
is
sleep on
crazy.
Akon.
Used to be the
His thing.
emperor of Africa. or
He
something,
does.
man.
He's
Man.
like, I'm going to do it for my
He
people.
provided light for a whole country faster than we've been able to do for these small territories.
Small.
And
Technology.
clean water in this
Come
place, and then
on.
we got Flint with
Come on.
bad water.
Talk about it.
Elon Musk is finally making a move on that, so that's cool. My guess is he's about to try and run for president. That's
Makes
me.
sense.
Oh.
It makes sense.
I mean, crazier things have happened.
crazy things have
man.
happened.
Or are happening.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy
oh wait,
things.
I don't think he can. Actually, I think he's been born in South Africa, so he probably can't.
Well.
He'll get around
Who
it.
knows? Who knows? But Speaking of some crazy things and making sure the value is right, this particular portion of our show is sponsored by us right here at The Sphere. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or shoot us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Yes, indeed, man. Get those advertisements in, people. Let's get your businesses out there. That's what we do here. It's full turnkey. We ain't playing around with the people.
That's my favorite word right now.
Turnkey. You could get a turnkey solution. You could write
Come
that
on.
to the bank.
Come on.
Take it.
Everyone loves that word.
Yeah,
especially in the medical
yes,
industry.
indeed. Speaking of
Who's on your
turnkey,
bracelets, by the way? I noticed those. I like those.
yeah, those
so
are gorgeous.
my company, Unleash Your Dopeness. That's my.
Oh yeah, no,
that's a
I
part of the brand.
advertise your sweatshirts all the time.
What?
How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Hey.
DOPE.
Hey.
Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. Use coupon code DOPE for 10% off.
drop that.
Yeah, I remember.
Drop that.
I
Did
say
y'all
every
hear
week.
it?
Every week. Shameless
Every
plug
week.
on intermission.
There it
we go.
is.
Moving to
that's-
Wednesdays at 7.
Yeah.
Shameless plug, man.
We got to keep them going.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then my motivation is with me every single day. That's my mom.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so she passed away from ALS, so that's a part of my motivation to
Yeah.
get out here. She sacrificed way too much for me to play small.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I feel that.
Come
So-
on.
So
See, that's what-
Initiative.
People play small. That's the thing. Like that's something I say all the time. It's like if
You're
you're gonna do
trapped.
it, you might as well just go as big as you can. Who cares if you miss?
I mean, I think of some of the craziest, outlandish things, and I'll tell people, and they be like,
Yeah.
"You gonna do what? You
Come
gonna
on, man.
leave?" As my grandmother would say, "That good white folk paying job for this."
Yeah.
Come on. Come
Yeah.
on. I'm straight Dungeons and Dragons over here. People be hitting me up. I be like,
Slaying.
yeah, I want a castle. I want this.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I dream.
not?
I'm
I mean,
out there, kid.
Out there,
There are
Apple
people that have
Safari.
castles. Yeah.
right?
I'm way out there.
Out
People
there.
own islands.
Real rap.
Real rap.
People on.
I'm
Richard
on.
Branson owns an island.
No,
Yes,
like-
since 1990.
Like
Come on.
Camilla and I
Necker
was sitting
Island, I
there
know. I followed this guy. He bought it for $115,000.
$15,000
Crazy.
and redeveloped the whole thing, and
Yeah,
then
now
it
it's worth
burned.
like
Is that the one that
25
burned down?
Oh, they got hit by the hurricane, but he
Hurricane.
stayed.
Stayed.
On the island during
Right.
the hurricane. Was
It was
like, I'm
like-
gonna just stay.
I'm here.
I mean, that's a little too crazy for me. But yeah.
But he's out there, and sometimes you have to have those outlandish ideas and thoughts. And we've got an outlandish idea and thought for you, good sir. KG, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
So
I was like, what?
let's just say,
this wasn't in the email.
of course not.
What is this about?
Let's just say we take off your plate all the concept and ideas of your 5, 10, 15-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we rewind the tape and eradicate all those meetings with cats with Ferraris, standing on Ferraris, opening up
Call me right now.
doors.
It's funny.
we're taking back all the strategic developments you've done for the clientele over the last year or so. Every waking hour you've put into analytics, whether it's Google or Squarespace or any site's metrics that you needed, we're winding it all the way back to when you're still sitting at that desk in that business where you're grinding for an unethical company.
Mm-hmm.
You remember everything you've been through, but this time we slide you some seed money to do it all over again. What would you do differently this time around that you didn't do the first time?
That's interesting. All right,
Huh.
so seed money. First,
The Rick Ross.
I'd first ask you how much is the seed money, if you give me a number,
So
because
let's say
that determines what I'm gonna do
let's
with
say
it.
$100,000.
Ooh, okay, I can do a lot with that. Okay, so the first thing would be, now, do I have the knowledge I have now? Or
Same knowledge.
Okay,
You just got money in the bank.
two things. All right, so
Shorty,
there's
what
two
you
things.
think?
Hey.
One is buying into this company that I'm trying to get into now, because it's something that just sits there and just collects money. It's something that service the doctors need. I would do that. That's the first thing, because then I can just collect residual income, be done with it. Which highlights the main point, is finding out a way to get mailbox money. So I'd probably take about half of that and do that because I don't need a full $100,000. Bills already, and then pay up rent too right out the gate. Less stress, focus on whatever I need to focus on. It actually would have helped with 2 of the clients that I had to just terminate because they were way bigger of a headache than what they needed to be. The second thing would be invest in an accountant right out the gate because I think that's something that's often overlooked.
It's key.
Yeah.
That's how you get to the end.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
how you build
for sure.
it with the end in mind now.
I did it the hard way and just kind of bumped into walls until I just learned it myself.
But that's
And
necessary too.
For sure. Because I mean, if you don't have your finances in place, period, you can't run a business. You can't be profitable.
Come on.
So that's like another 20,000 maybe, and then so that's 70. So with the other 30 grand, I would probably hire an intern, somebody who can do some of the maintaining, or I can train real quick, just because it would help me move faster. But to be honest, I mean, that's probably it. Because business-wise, like at least what I do, there's not really much overhead. It's just about time and hours. So investing in anything that's going to help consolidate my resources and speed them up. Other than that, yeah, probably just hire somebody and get an accountant for sure, and make sure my bills are paid all the way up. Like luckily for me, like I didn't mind cranking out hours at a time, so I mean I never had issues with that. But it would have made it a whole lot less stressful. I was like, man, I got to get this check today, especially in the first couple of months. It was like I need this right now.
Could have worked on the business and not
Yeah,
in the business.
exactly. That's the thing is that I'm learning now because I'm 8 months into it that there's a difference between being self-employed and running a business. They're not the same thing. And,
Not at
and
all.
before I didn't know that distinction. I've learned a lot more about like the business side of things in terms of what it means to try and scale things up and how to move quicker. Because like I said, for me, it was always about I got to have this perfect, got to have this perfect, got to have this perfect. But I realized like my idea of perfect is probably way higher than what someone else is because they're not as familiar with this as I am.
Yeah.
So as long as it's working and it's working how it's supposed to be and I'm delivering how it's supposed to be, then I can scale up and I don't have to worry about like, okay, well, this color is just slightly off. They wanted royal blue, but this one's just a little too light. Wouldn't have to worry about those details. So being able to scale up, so I would take that money, scale up, scratch that investment thing. I can do that later, actually. I would probably hold off on that. Invest in a few good people who can maintain the small things so I get more time. Find somebody who I could pay a decent amount that I can train so they can go on other meetings that I couldn't go on to at least get them to the finish line. And yeah, I think that's where my money would go is investing in power and manpower.
Y'all hear that,
There
folks?
it is.
Y'all hear the
So I just changed. I went around about to say that.
No,
Changed
you're
the whole
fine.
thing.
No, it was
But
perfect.
the meticulousness of the conversation, understanding where every dollar goes,
Got to command that
understanding
dollar.
you got to understanding that you got to know your accounting side before you even hire an accounting person. You got to know the numbers because you got to
Even when you
watch
do, you still
the
have
money,
to.
folks.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to have those things under wraps. Simply, you can't just simply delegate and forget about it. You need to understand every avenue and aspect of your business. And guess what? You need a marketing maven that's able to do that for you all. Folks,
For sure.
we're sitting here with Howard
Can I
Edward
actually
of
change my
Edward
answer
Media
real quick?
Solutions.
I
No.
want to amend something. Wait, no, because there's
You want
something.
to amend it?
Yeah,
What
because
we
I just
doing?
thought about something. So if you gave me $100,000, I would probably, if I had the knowledge now, I'd probably tell you to give me half of that or a little bit less. Because one of the things I picked up,
Reserves.
well, not even that. One of the things I picked up was that, like I said, it's about building relationships. The thing that you don't learn in a W-2, if you're in a W-2 job, is that you have to learn how to negotiate and trade services with people. And so that's one thing that's different. Like for instance,
Barter.
yeah, exactly. You got to learn the barter system. If you gave me $100,000, I wouldn't have learned that yet. I had to learn that while I was on this
You
job.
get creative when you ain't got a buck to give.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you don't if you're not quite sure if
That's
this
for sure.
buck is gonna really give you a ROI.
But you also get really creative at finding where they are too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is like you can create money out of nothing, and when you learn that skill, then it's like, who cares?
Right.
Like I can find money anywhere. I can literally
On
make
the
it come out of
way
the
down.
sky. Yeah,
I'm
building the
Falling
plane.
out the
Yeah.
window. I got
Hence,
it.
You can fire and terminate customers because they no longer fit
Yeah.
within your wheelhouse.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's an important thing though.
No, that's a nugget.
not everybody.
That's a
Oh,
gem. That's
Oh,
I
my.
hope y'all got it.
Oh, my.
Don't be afraid to get
Yeah.
rid of
Come
folks
on.
who don't align with your
Come
moral
on, some
compass and your
podcasters have had to
values.
go. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But good sir, because of your tenacity, because of the things that you've been through, because of the meticulousness that you put forth, and you've always got the client first, we would like to officially coin you a startup master.
Hey.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Oh, wait, do y'all curse on y'all?
No, we don't. But
Oh,
that's
damn, my bad.
we got
I've
you.
dropped a few,
Please
I'm
let
sorry.
anyone and everyone know who's tuned in right now know where they can find you, reach out to you, contact you, all that stuff.
Social media, Howard Jerome on Facebook. I have a company page, but I've neglected that for sure. And then on Instagram, Howard_Jerome. If you want to get me on the professional side, Howard or info at edwardsmediasolutions.com. And you can hit my website up at edwardsmediasolutions.com. You'll get information about what we do, just some stats. Because one of the things I've noticed too, people don't like to talk about marketing. I don't understand that. It's like you got to get business in the door to grow a business, to have a business. It just doesn't make sense. Like
I got
people
an
don't want to
idea
invest
why.
it. What?
We'll talk about it
Yeah,
offline.
Another
yeah,
story.
yeah.
Another day.
So yeah, you can find me on there. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a message on Facebook. And anybody listening that needs help, hey, I'm willing to help.
There it is. There it is. KG, where can the good people reach you at, my dear?
Good people, you can reach me on, excuse me, at kogpassion.com. There you can follow me across all my social media platforms on LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as the book. That's kogpassion.com. Even for my YouTubers, check out KOG Speaks TV. What about you, G?
That's what it is. Of course, anywhere online, folks. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. Remember, if you got any questions about the entrepreneurs or what we do here on the show, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or hit us across social media at thesphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag StartupMasters, and we will definitely get back with you. This has been another electrifying episode.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
It was dope.
We will see you all next time. Take care.
Peace.